very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the Lunchtime News this afternoon. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark and you're watching the UBC Lunchtime News. Without further ado, let's get straight into the top stories of this afternoon. The rate at which teachers in Uganda are dying sparked a concern among education stakeholders who are now calling on the government to urgently improve the teachers' welfare. This concern was raised during a teachers training workshop held at Fairway Hotel in Kampala under the campaign Support Education and Increase Funding. Let's have a look.
The General Secretary of the Uganda National Teachers Union, Philbert Baguma, has disclosed that 535 teachers died last year. Of these, 419 were reportedly male teachers. Baguma warned that the increasing number of deaths is negatively affecting the quality of education in the country.
Consistently moved downwards up to now 6.6% of the national budget. So where are we going? Consistently going down in terms of investment in education. Remember, in Uganda, pre-primary is entirely in the hands of the private sector. And the commitment of the 12 years include 1 year of pre-primary.
Stakeholders say teachers are working under unsatisfactory conditions characterized by low salaries and high levels of stress. This concern was raised during a teachers training workshop held at Fairway Hotel in Kampala that attracted regional education leaders, including Dennis Signolo, who emphasized the importance of investing in teachers.
In inverted commas, better. You also have situations where teachers will tell their own children, never ever become a teacher. Otherwise you'll die poor. Instead of getting the cream from our high schools to train as teachers, we are getting the average or below average, and the consequence is that we're averaging our education systems. Did you hear what I said? If you want your education to be the best, get the best from your schools.
Members of Parliament also voiced concern, including Joseph Gonzaga Sewungu, Kalungu West County MP, who criticized the concerned personnel of neglecting public schools.
There is no medicine we have other than sitting down as members of Parliament. You are going for caucus this afternoon, express facts. You cannot allow education to be managed by private institutions. At one time, there was time, I think the early 90s, where teachers were running out of private schools, joining government schools. And it was very difficult to access a payroll in the government. But as we are talking now, majority are running out of government schools to border riding, to other investments. A nation that serious with this education must fight even corruption through strengthening education government institutions.
Participants at the workshop linked the declining standards of education in Uganda to underfunding and poor teacher welfare. Education stakeholders are now urging the government to prioritize funding for the sector to improve teachers' livelihoods and ensure quality education for all. Mike Bakablinde.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Common User Production Facilities to support women entrepreneurs under the GROW project. Beneficiaries include groups such as the Innovation Village Hub, the Chiyindi Women Fish Processors Association, among others. Let's take a look.
As you all recall, last year at the International Labour Day on 1st May 2025, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, presented to you dummy checks for this grant. Ideally, you should have received the funds by now, but due to unavoidable circumstances, the process of approval took longer than was expected, and I am happy to note that finally the processes are over and we are able to advance to view the grants now. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to confirm that the following organizations are the ones presented here today.
this project grow, we're expecting a lot out of it. First of all, we are going to improve our working environment. It has been so poor that we cannot access the UNBS certification. But under GROW program, we are saying we are going to be certified products, and our products will reach supermarkets. Not only that, we are going to create employment for the youth and the women. We are going to increase on the consumption of silverfish and even the marketing. We are going to widen our marketing because of the improved environment, thus high.
Following the recent appointment of the Uganda Marine Police Force as a lead agency for coordinating anti-drowning efforts by the Office of the Prime Minister, a section of the Marine Commanders has been oriented in modern coordination skills on behalf of the 7 implementing government ministries. The one-day orientation training, coordinated by the Prime Minister's Office and Safe Transport and Survivor Support Uganda, a civil society network advocating for marine safety, took place at Lake Victoria Beach Cottages in Kigo.
So that is Marine Police. So today we are here to get an orientation on how we should strategically coordinate the drowning prevention activities or the drowning prevention program for Uganda. We have been doing our local work, but now we have been given that extra task, which we are eagerly waiting to understand what it means by being a lead agency, what it means to strategically coordinate these activities.
This training is very important to strengthen your coordination and also to help you to do the mapping of other key stakeholders to ensure that you continue to save lives. I think this you need to learn a lot, because last year when I was in Nigeria has a similar arrangement.
Is that coordination is required to manage the various forms of dependency that naturally occur when institutions have interlinked objectives, when they share a common environment, or when they are shared resources.
Now, on the 25th of July is the International Day of Drowning. So you're going to be hosting that commemoration, and Uganda is a focus country right now. The WHO is coming to Uganda. Bloomberg Foundation is coming to Uganda with all its partners from around 7 or 8 countries.
As the Minister of Works and Transport, safety is one of our primary roles. And when drowning prevention came to justice, that was really lining up with our day-to-day activities.
Journalists have been urged to promote peace and unity through responsible reporting as regional leaders emphasize the role of the media in shaping stable society. This was the key message at the Media Awards event organized by the International Conference on the Great Lakes region held at Makerere University. Saddam Mubale has more details.
Speaking at the Media Award events organized by the International Conference on the Great Lakes region, Ambassador Masolo Robert, the national coordinator at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, urged journalists from Uganda and beyond to focus on impactful storytelling that benefits communities.
Also affirming the essential role of the media as a partner in driving peace and regional stability. I encourage all journalists across the Great Lakes region to continue using their platforms responsibly, courageously and constructively.
Dr. Mubita Luwabelwa, the Executive Secretary of the ICGLR, emphasized the importance of building sustainable partnerships with journalists worldwide. He noted that such collaborations are critical in eliminating fake news and improving professionalism within the media industry.
And this is where your colleagues, the journalists, should help us a lot.
The event also recognized outstanding journalists who have contributed to peace building through their work.
Category, and for me it's really a great honor to have been selected as a laureate and to have won this award from Congo. And I think this emphasizes or strengthens my engagement and commitment to serve my community.
Dr. Ivan Lukanda, one of the facilitators and trainers from Makerere University, said such initiatives are vital in strengthening ethical journalism and using media as a tool for peace development across the Great Lakes region.
What we are doing is to train journalists in how they can report peace and conflict in the region. What is different this time is that we are integrating the aspects of multimedia, that a story about peace and conflict is not only told through text, but can also be told using still pictures.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
More in our lunchtime news. Swahili teachers in Uganda have been urged to embrace opportunities presented by the Swahili language, both locally and internationally, to support sustainable development. This call was made by the Associate Professor Elizabeth Chazike, Dean of Students at the Chambogo University, during the first Swahili Teachers Conference.
We are asking please.
Okusomozebwa kungi ekisookedde ddala tubadde tetunnafunawo lukuŋŋaana nga luno bukya tutandika okusomesa okuli competence based.
Yes, citizens nationwide, the teachers of Kiswahili, and purposely we have come to this place to look forward to see that Kiswahili is developed. At this point, I would like to appreciate the government of Uganda in conjunction with the Ministry of Education and Sports and NCDC for taking care of the Kiswahili, as taking it as #1 language in the whole world, as in conjunction with East Africa and Africa as a whole. We are looking forward to develop this language because it has become a national-wide and international-wide language, whereby it is used in different media. For example, we want to thank the African continent, which has come up with the idea of having one common language, which is going to bring us together as Africans, because we are no longer under neocolonialism. We want to have our own language as Africans, and what is going to bring us together is Kiswahili.
And today we are meeting here in our Kiswahili conference, first of its kind, just to see how we can progress with our Kiswahili. Kiswahili as a language that is being taught in schools, especially at secondary school. We want to see, are we really on the right track? Are we using the good methods of teaching? Is the pedagogy that we are using that qualifies for CBC? Then how about assessment? Are we handling our learners the right way we are supposed to handle them? In the CBC, the competency-based, of course with assessment and pedagogy, these things go hand in hand. There's no way you can...
Challenging, and teachers have been actually not very in good terms with the assessment body, because now we've come here to see ways, what is missing with our students when we prepare them. That's the reason as why you have come here as teachers of Swahili in Uganda. But away from that, us as teachers of Swahili in Uganda, we are not only teaching Swahili in secondary schools or primary schools, but we are actually promoting the East African agenda of common language, that is Swahili. And for us, we are patriots. We are the first patriots.
Si lulimi nti lulimi lwakwogera bwogezi oba abantu bagamba nti lulimi lw'ababi, lulimi ng'endala zonna. Era omuntu ng'asomye Swahili aba wa muwendo nnyo. Okugezanga ffe abasomesa tufuna emirimu, ate ng'era oba olaba nti mu masomero ga secondary Oluswahili lwe lumu ku misomo egiri compulsory oba egy'obuwaze, kubanga omuntu alina okusoma Oluswahili wadde nti gavumenti ekyataddewo emyaka 2 gyokka, senior 1 ne senior 2, naye era gumu emigaso emingi
bwe natwala eri abayizi baffe Karamoja okubeera nga bayiga olulimi Oluswahili olulimi oluswahili wakamala emyaka 6 mu region ya Karamoja okuva bwe batandika new curriculum.
Teachers that go through Chambogo University. So it tries to follow up its teachers wherever they are to see how they are doing, to enhance them in methodology, content, and in form of portfolio, what we call following up your learners, especially the teachers when they go out of the system. So with this conference has been the first of its kind, and we hope that, God willing, we shall be holding it annually to always find out, get feedback from them. Some of the
We can clap for them and they sit down. Those who have their money, put it in your pocket properly such that it's not taken.
And more in our lunchtime news, women entrepreneurs have urged the government to place greater emphasis on funding initiatives that support women-owned businesses, citing limited access to finance as a major barrier to their growth. Speaking during the Women's Day celebrations held at the Source of the Nile Hotel in Jinja City, Heifer International Country Director William Matovu highlighted several challenges hindering the progress of women-led enterprises and called for targeted government intervention to unlock their full potential.
I've heard that business women move with their businesses everywhere.
We come to celebrate this year's Women's Day with the theme, She Feeds the World, because we know that women are very important in feeding the world. Women take up the biggest burden in sustaining the food systems chain, and that's why in our work, women, and especially young women, are put at the center of our work.
Our gathering here today was to really recognize the contribution of women in agriculture and the efforts that they make towards building sustainable and decent livelihoods for their families, but also for the communities. Part of what Heifer does is to make sure that women are included in their projects. So for the projects that we have, we target 60% women participation.
We need to support women in issues of land acquisition, both in a traditional way but also in a commercial way. We need to skill our women, not necessarily women, but all of us, especially the youth, to see how we can add value by acquiring the required machinery and technologies that can allow to process our products to add more value, but also to produce our products along the value chain.
Members, let's utilize these opportunities, yeah, and be able to go into the banks and borrow these funds. There are funds specifically put aside for women under the GROW project. If you don't have none, you can still go into the circles and be able to borrow money.
Nkola product ya ama hibiscus juice. Aba Heifer batuyamba batuwa capital okutandika eno business, batuwa amagezi engeri gy'okuhandolinga mu business eno okubanga ekula, then providing resources ni connection okuva mu bantu ab'endawulo engeri gye tukuza mu business eno.
Ife tuli balimi era tuli baayi, amaadi gabawala neitako okufuna ngaitako okupangisa, batupangisa beeyi ate agandi tuba tuzira sente nga famire.
Engineer.
The government of Uganda is strengthening support for skills and vocational training as a strategy to combat youth unemployment and achieve the country's Vision 2040 goals. The principal communication officer at the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board, Kabambaho Narasi Nijuka, revealed that this is what is supposed to be done while monitoring ongoing assessment exercises in Jinja district.
The system is increasingly focused on producing graduates equipped with practical skills that are competitive on the labor market. A total of 12,000 976 candidates from 161 assessment centers across the country have been assessed under the Workers Pass, modular, and full occupational levels 1 to 4. These candidates are now better prepared to create employment and contribute to national development. They were examined in various trades, including tailoring, hospitality management, hairdressing, and bricklaying, among others. The Principal Communications Officer of UVITAB, Kambaho Narasi Anjijuka, says the exercise is intended to assess and satisfy candidates' competencies to enable them access employment opportunities.
The focus is on strengthening the productivity of our workforce as a country. We believe that according to the Vision 2040 and National Development Plan 4, we project to have a critical mass of technicians, artisans, who are able to support critical sectors of the economy. Because we know that sectors like manufacturing, construction, ICT, oil and gas, these are promising ventures, but they will lack people who have got hands-on skills to support these sectors. So we believe if we get more Ugandans certified as mechanics, as tailors, as electricians, as banana farmers, and as salon operators, we shall be able to have steady growth of the economy.
Institute administrators note that skills acquired by the youth will transform both their lives and their communities.
But for over the years, we have seen that the narrative is changing, because at least we have witnessed 80% of our girls coming for the training, and after the training, they have been able to get employed and then come back to support their families and the communities. So right now, each year, we have a whole list of girls who are coming up.
Recently, we had assessment for informal occupation, and the programs or the courses that we assessed were tailoring and hairdressing. We had 22 candidates altogether, and before the assessment we had a briefing of the candidates that was done on 23rd, and assessment was done on 24th.
Candidates have praised the government for the training, noting that it equips them with lifelong skills.
My outside targets right now, after here, as I'm working, but I want to work because I've finished this course, this certificate. Now I'm going to get the certificate, but after that I want to be working so that I pay the tuition for myself as I'm working.
I am able to balance this because I was well packaged during my study at Akola Academy. That it is comprising of communication skills, the computer skills, and hospitality management as the base.
Health experts in Kasangati, Wakiso district are advocating for the return to natural healing, urging communities to embrace holistic approaches for improved health and well-being. The focus is on preventive care and sustainable lifestyles. This summit, organized by the Great Habib Wellness Resort, highlights herbal medicine, self-awareness, and healthy living as key pillars in transforming health outcomes and promoting long-term wellness.
Like you're doing 4 sets, it means do the 15 repetitions. For example, take a rest, how we feel, yeah, and our engines, which is the heart.
Then comes somebody who didn't go to school, somebody who learned this knowledge from somebody's grandfather. KK, I have ulcers. How long have you had ulcers? I've had ulcers for the longest time I can remember, since high school. How old are you? I'm 47. How many hospitals have you gone to? Oh, I can't count. How many doctors have you met? I can't count. What are you taking lately? Lately, KK, I stopped even taking the whatever. I stopped taking the tablets of charcoal. I stopped even, nowadays I take some little herbal stuff because I'm done and tired with the antibiotics. I think everybody down here has had somebody who has told them they are tired of something called antibiotics. Parents can tell you how much bacterial infections they are tired of treating every 2 weeks in their home.
The entire system got disorganized. I went into excessive medication. I couldn't cure my ulcers. I was seeing blood whenever I would visit the other, you know what I'm talking about. And mucus coming out. Of course, my worry was I'm now going to last stage of cancer. I visited several hospitals. The asthma, when I saw, you know, we have asthma hubs here. So I went to SAS clinic, and the same week I went to Case clinic. By the time the endoscopy had just come into Uganda, for some of you have lived longer. So I had to pay around 700,000, if I remember. They took me into the theater for endoscopy. All what they found, it's a long, difficult process. The result was H. pylori, but coming from the theater, it was not a simple process. So I added up all my bills and were accumulating, and I was ready to go overseas. But whatever doctor will ask, he will tell me no. Even if you go to the UK, even if you know the ulcers won't heal. So I decided to focus on an alternative of doing research. So I did my research, focusing on alternative, the natural way of treating myself. That's how God saved my life. My bills went almost zero.
Wobango saba katonda
ne momo gisabiranga
ubanga
etwadde vani enyiriro okuzama
lucky hey lucky
We sat down and asked, what more can we do for the guardians, the parents who take time to pay school fees? Why don't we give them a van? So I officially hand over the keys to this school van to Lucky Kids Academy. We are grateful for everything that you've done for Mama.
We are just lucky, wallahi. We thank you so much for this hand that you've given us, you've stretched towards Lucky Kids and the rest of the schools.
There you go, Lucky Kids Academy here in Puerto, winning the first van. What do you have to do, Ruth, to win a van courtesy of Momo?
Just pay school fees using Momo app or press *165 *80# pay the school fees, then you stand a chance to win school fees or a school van.
Lucky!
This is Academy Momo!
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, lunchtime news, broadcasting live from the broadcast house. Wakiso District Chairperson Matia Luanga Bwanika has been honored for championing sports, including athletes' welfare and environmental protection, while Kampala Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago received accolades for supporting retired footballers and preserving iconic sports landmarks. This was during the recent ceremony hosted by Pastor Mosisi of Caring Hearts, schools where leaders from central Uganda were recognized for their service. More details in this report.
At Wakiso District Headquarters, Wanaka was celebrated by former footballers, including 1978 AFCON finalist Paul Sally and students from Caring Hearts schools. The delegation lauded his leadership since 2011, highlighting his dedication to retired athletes and his efforts to protect the environment. Wanika expressed gratitude for the recognition, emphasizing the importance of service, accountability and fostering opportunities for future leaders, including young men.
Tukola ebintu bino mu offices eza public emirundi egisinga owulira bayemulugunya owulira bayomba, owulira bakuvuma, owulira butali bumativu. Naye okuwulira yakwebaza kabonero ka kitiibwa nnyo. Nyinza n'okugamba nti mu bonna district erina abantu abagenda miliyoni 4 yasoose.
The veteran players praised his commitment to sports development and community welfare.
We are here today just to say thank you to Honorable Dr. Matia Rwanga, the chairman of Wakiso District. He's been outstanding. I think when you look at what he's done for the last 15 years, he's been a model, he's been an exemplary leader.
Students highlighted his role as a champion of the people and an enduring symbol of hope.
Make sure that the wetlands are okay, to make sure that the forests are reserved. He helped in the establishment and development of the infrastructure in Wakiso District. For we are really grateful, for he has done a very great job for our district and as well as Uganda.
Meanwhile, at Kampala City Hall, Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago received a leadership award from a similar delegation of former footballers and students. Lukwago reaffirmed his commitment to retired footballers' welfare while emphasizing the preservation of Nachivubo Stadium.
Okugamba nti wabeerewo enteekateeka ey'okulaba nti abantu baffe baliko emmunyenye mu kisaawe ky'omupiira bonna gye baali mu biseera ebyo be bayita ba legends babaako we beekumirakumira n'okutandikawo projects ez'enjawulo era ne bazannyo Pastor Musisi ne ttiimu yonna Paulo Sali Chuni bani bonna nga bombalabye baomba bani ttiimu yonna abo be mulaba abo babyafaayo nnyo mu Uganda.
Veteran players hailed Lukwago's resilience and dedication, describing him as a model of leadership and justice.
Ekituleese okusiima Lord Mayor 1 bwe nali ntandika ekibiina kye bayita Former Footballers Initiative. Lord Mayor yali musaale nnyo okunnyamba, yankwasizaako mujjukira nti twalonchingira wali ku Caring Heart. Masomero ga Caring Heart wali n'ekkanisa ya Caring Heart Victory Community Church. Wali n'ekisaawe we twalonchingira yavuga emmotoka n'ava eno e Kampala n'ajja mu Wakiso. So ate mukwano gwange personally nti nze ndaba Kampala ng'egenda okusubwa omuntu asobola okuyamba omuntu yenna.
The recognition campaign celebrates leaders whose service has had lasting impact, from supporting athletics and education to protecting Uganda's sports heritage.
Omupiira wansi kukyali bubi nnyo gusaana obuyambi neffe nga abagusambako tujja kuba nti tuyamba Former Footballers Initiative Senior Club tujja kuba nti tugezaako okulaba nga twongera n'ekintu ekyo kyexpandinga okuvaawo wekiri mu Wakiso n'awalayo yonna kigendeyo kubanga ebitone bingi ebikyali wansi eyo nga byetaaga obuyambi.
Students praised his advocacy for equity and the common citizen.
With the infrastructure such as the 325 kilometer streets, with the initiative of having 25,000 street lights installed as FI safety in the city, making them businessmen and women comfortable on the streets. Surely, this has no purpose.
I'm Band Machabe Semambo, reporting for UBC.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC Lunchtime News. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and I'm styled by La Vie Boutique, located on Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, Grand Imperial Hotel, behind Bank of Uganda.